Hello and welcome to another episode of Find My League. I am Archangel and welcome to another Dominion Spotlight. This week featuring Yorick, the gravedigger. I go 21-9-0. I go 21 in offensive and 9 in defensive, taking the dodge skills. I play Yorick as a defender / holder in Dominion. I do this because he has enough sustain to do both jobs and he has enough DPS to push and fight on his own in a duel. I go bot right in the beginning with a Propsters blade and boots, with one health pot and with one mana pot. The health pot and the mana pot is to give you a little bit more sustain with pushing if you have enemies that do more damage than Yorick, which is not really a common occurrence, but it can happen. I rush instantly to bot and I quick capture it. And then from there, I start the long trial of pushing and holding my lanes. I generally choose bot because it's more of a pushing and holding aspect. If you go up to top, you deal with problems with rushing how much DPS you can do. Yorick is not really generalizing specialized in this area, so bot suits him more than anything. Right here you can see that I've taken down Rise and pushed my lane pretty far out. It was a great kill. I continue on to capture the point. From here, the point gets captured. The minions are starting to push, which is what Yorick is generally good at doing. I continue to push, my minions come up to help me increase this. Hope most players know this, but the minions increase the taking of the point. From there I go down, always grabbing the health pack to give Yorick a little bit more health. And I notice that Garen and Rise are on their way here. From there I try to see if I can hold point from them, which is difficult because there's two of them. I take Garen down and I slowly move over into the area to go get the health back. I die, sadly, that time. Later I come back and I take the point with Wukong, giving us our quest and taking 20 points to the enemy's nexus. From there, I start pushing to another point. This is what Yorick does. He is great at pushing and he's great at defending. I come up on this point noticing that Skarner is there. I try to harass him with what I can do. Doesn't seem to be doing anything, and from there, I start to capture the point to provoke him to come towards me. He hits me for once. I try to take point, or I try to do more damage to him. He suppresses me. I start taking more damage, and then I try to grab the point while my teammate distracts me. Noticing that 3 other champions came in, I start running up to the upper point where it's safer. I notice that the upper point is empty, so I try to take that from them. I notice that Garen is coming up on me, and the enemy team has just got there. I have 3 teammates here, so I know we can take him easily in a fight. The Garen stupidly comes after all 3 of us. And with that, he faces a wrath of my team. I captured a point that assists my team because really you only need one person DPSing him while someone else captures. I noticed Yorick looped around and he didn't die. He comes out and I shovel check him, instantly killing him. From there I start to travel down towards bot. I get to the point and I start capturing. From there I notice that Riven was there and we instantly kill her. We start taking point. Once again, this is all you need to do with Yorick is just pushing lanes and taking points. You'll be in first every game as Yorick. I head on back to the base to get a little bit more items. I got my Seguine's blade and boots of lucidity, and I started working on my Trinity force. From right here, I ended up getting into a duel with Garen. He saw me, I saw him, and I started killing him because I can do more DPS. Rise comes into the fight, but I know I could beat him because I've been so much fed. I start crumbling him down. Once he gets up to his tower, I don't really want to risk it. My zombie dies, and I start just continuously harassing him, trying to provoke him to get away from his turret. That doesn't work, so I just go directly back to pushing, using my promote, which is a great summoner's skill for Yorick. I continue to push him with my minions, keeping him away from me so he doesn't snare me in. I push and I push and I push. Once I've noticed I've gotten him up to a point and he's at half health while I'm at full, I know I can dive him. I start diving him, but realizing that he could probably lock me into a snare, he dies. But luckily Kog'Maw leveling artillery shoots him. Noticing that Riven's coming, Kog'Maw should adjust on him, but instead I do because my Kog'Maw. I ended up dying at that point. Up here in the upper point I ended up with Skarner and Riven. I start taking them down, knowing that I am the most DPS here as Cog is starting to take point. I noticed that Cog is losing health and I just start tanking damage for him. And then railing on the Rise. I start capturing the point like most people would do. We end up capturing that point.
Your team has captured the win.
and I just go to get minions a little bit to get a little bit more health. From there, I start heading to go push another area. Tiamat catches me in the jungle, and I ended up dueling him, not thinking I could win, but with my sustain for my red, which is what you should do, you can easily beat another person, even at low health, because you have such good sustain and such good DPS. I go back to pushing my minions, and I keep using my red on the minions so I get more health. You should always do this as Yorick. The red equals your sustain. I see that Rise is coming, and I thought I could take him, but I thought I couldn't take him, but I ended up start attacking him, and I ended up killing him. After we slowly continue pushing down this hallway. Again, I come up to the minions and I start trying to spam my red so I can continuously health while pushing with my promote summoner skill. I died at that point because another champion came in and instantly killed me. I start taking the main conquest point because it's a quest. Riven comes up on me and starts dealing massive damage to me. I flash away knowing that Cog was right there, so Cog can do more damage, and then we together push. I always use my Omen of Death on either a champion that does more DPS or than myself, so we can have more DPS in a battle. I generally try to do it to one with lower health, like most people, so you can Revenant and have another life to do more DPS. Sadly though, when you're in Revenant, you cannot take over points. I killed Garen. I noticed that Skarner is coming up. I grab a health pack to make myself more healthier. Skarner instantly runs to go capture another point. I wait as I taunt Skarner. I wait until Riven comes to start dishing out more damage to her to prevent her from taking the point from me. Riven starts pushing minions. I still continue to wait. Again, she comes up. I harass her more to keep her away from my point, holding the point. Garen comes in. I start holding the point even more, noticing that we have 4 captured and it's about to end. And then the game ends. I get a victory in the name of Yorick.
Victory!
Thank you for watching Yorick the Gravedigger's Dominion Spotlight. This is Archangel, and I'll see you next time.